before you got into film,
Yes.
went to film school, I think you did a degree in literature.
Yes.
Is that when you got interested in Eileen Chang?
No, I just read Eileen Chang is not as part of the syllabus. I mean, it's just any book. And I think I read her first novel in 1978, I think, around. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yes, around that time.
So that's a bit later. Is it after you came back from London?
Yeah, I think so.
Uh-huh. And we noted the other day in the talk show thing that you have made 3 adaptations from Eileen Chang now, quite widely spaced in your filmography, but still you've gone back to her several times. Can you define what it is particularly about her work that grabs you, that makes you really interested and keen to adapt?
Oh, the first time I read her was in 1978, and it was a collection of short novels, including Love in a Fallen City, which was the longest one, which is maybe called a novella. And this one was between Hong Kong and Shanghai, but the others were about Hong Kong University and maybe an armor, And I've read quite a lot of books about Hong Kong before, but I've never read a book which represent my own impression of Hong Kong. I mean, because I think Eileen Chang treated Westerners, Indians, like Chinese, even Chinese people, Hong Kong people, with this from the same perspective. At that time, I think maybe usually the foreigners were treated as foreigners, sort of either bad guys or people who are strange. But then I feel that at that time I didn't know, but I felt that Eileen Chang was special because her perspective on different peoples is very fair and the same. So apart from her depiction of scenery, like all those things which I noticed, like Flame of the Forest, these vibrant plants in Hong Kong. I didn't notice before. So and the way of life of Hong Kong people. She's not a Hong Kong person. She came from Shanghai, but maybe because she came from Shanghai, she noticed that the Hong Kong people's their differences from the other mainland Chinese. So I was very struck by this and very impressed, and that's why I like her very much.
So the second film you made from Eileen Chang is actually a Shanghai story,
Yeah.
predominantly anyway. But the third is also Shanghainese into Hong Kong.
Yes.
So it's clear that is a recurrent thing for you. I think I may be quite wrong. Tell me if I'm very wrong. This film, is actually the first film that I think I ever saw that showed the fall of Hong Kong in 1941.
At that time, actually, I think there were around at least 2 films about the fall of
Really?
Hong Kong. One is by Po Chi Leung,
That came later.
等待黎明.
That's later.
Yeah, it's also Chow Yun-fat. And,
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, it's actually really about the fall
Yeah.
of Hong Kong. Yes.
It's a few years later, but I think you were the pioneer in this, in a way.
I was also very interested in shooting the fall of Hong Kong,
Yeah.
especially how they spend their time in the hotel.
Yeah. Okay. For this film, you went back to a cinematographer you'd worked with once before, called Tony Hope, a Brit,
Yeah.
right, who was basically in Hong Kong to work in advertising, but
Yes.
who was very happy, I think, to escape into the film industry for at least briefly. Tell me about working with him. I mean, the style here is very different from the first film you made together, which was Spooky Bunch. But I guess you had more money this time and a bit more resources this time. So is that why?
Yes, of course. I mean, I don't need to shoot this whole film handheld. I mean, I yes, I really at that I really think that Tony was actually taught me a lot about photography himself, because when I started working with him, I was very enamored of camera movements because I watched people like Yan So, who shot a film in 14 shots. Uh,
Well, yes.
that kind of thing. And then
Yes.
and who was the Japanese guy? I mean,
Mizoguchi.
溝口健二係叫咩名啊
Mizoguchi.
Misoguchi. Yeah, Misoguchi's track shots, and then Bertolucci's Before the Revolution. All these have elaborate camera movements,
Yes.
and I enjoyed myself in during the TV series. How do you call it? Working with these cameramen who were very fierce. So I thought of these elaborate movements to distract them. So how can I said the camera, can they follow them downstairs and then move out of the window and that kind of thing, and they really were up to the challenge, and so they were at this apart from doing their best,
Yeah.
they just respect me a little.
Yeah.
And with Tony, it's not the same because when I started, I was very unconfident, not
Yeah.
confident about camera and things like that.
Yeah.
So he and the cameraman of Secret,
Yeah.
they taught me. Actually, they were my teachers.
Uh-huh.
How to use the camera, film language, that kind of thing. Because every time when I have blocked shots, I show them the paper
Yeah.
with sketches and everything. I said I would like to do this and that and that, and would you, and then he will say improvements and things like that.
Okay.
And with Tony, the same. When I was working on, but I heard our producer, Sil Fang said that Tony is especially good with handheld cameras. So when I looked at this Spooky Bunch, the first film I worked with him, it was about a Cantonese opera troupe, but then it was a comedy and a horror story at the same time. And I thought, since we only have 29 shooting days for a very elaborate film, I designed most of the shots in handheld, since Tony could do it. So actually the first scene was shot in one take, apart from a few separate shots.
Yeah.
In this one, I was so upset by Shaw Brothers, because I said from the beginning that I would like Tony Ho, but then he was actually the boss of an advertising company, and he really was helping me to work on the film, and they made a lot of difficulties because before he would sign them, before they would sign him up. So I don't want to go through these things, like a moron. But the thing is, so both of us, when we started off, were not in such a good mood. But he still tried to do his work very well, and then he designed that we will use two types of film stock for the film. So after the fall of Hong Kong, we used Fuji. Before that, we used Kodak. So there's a definite, how do you call it, cooling of tone. After there was an invisible cooling of tone, that kind of thing. And then I think we worked very well, of course.
Your first three films were all made either for brand new companies or for small independent-ish companies, not the big boys anyway. And for this film, you did go to Shaw Brothers, and it's an interesting choice in a way because it's not much more than a year before Shaw Brothers stops regular production, sort of factory-style production, and already at this time, the level of production is shrinking. It's making much less films than it used to.
Well, it's their swan song.
Yeah.
Almost mine.
Did you help them to their grave?
Yeah.
Okay. Why did you go?
That's a very long story. Do you mind hearing this?
No, it's interesting.
That was when I went to shoot Boat People. Everybody told me not to because it was banned in Taiwan. But then it proved to be a big success. And then all the studios, everybody came to me to ask me. But then Shaw had asked me to sign me up before. So I knew that Shaw is very difficult to work with. And now I know it's not because they were vicious or anything. It's just because the studio system is completely in contrast to what I'm used to. We're used to working like student groups, but they have a big studio and they're always counting money.
They were sometimes vicious.
I hated them, but the thing is now I don't because I understand. Anyway,
They were sometimes vicious.
I was so good as to continue my fulfill my contract with them, and I got into big trouble because I wasn't used to working with a studio and all that, so it was very difficult.
Okay. But if you wanted to, was it your idea or their idea to adapt this novella?
It's my idea.
Yeah. And they accepted it? They didn't put up a fight or anything? They were happy with this?
Actually, now I know too that anything I offer them at that time, they would accept.
Ah, okay. They were so keen to work with you. You were not the only one, actually. They hired Mona Fong, who was by that time pretty much fully in charge, I think.
Yeah.
Was hiring all kinds of young directors, even people
Everybody.
like yeah, lots. I mean, Stanley, your assistant director here, Stanley Kwan, made his own first feature for Shaw's just after this, not long after
Yes.
this. Yeah. And Alex Chung made a film for them, and several people came
Yes.
in. Yeah. Gumping Hing even made a film for them. Yeah, so maybe you paved the way for these other guys.
In fact, Mona asked me whom to use.
Ah,
She asked me, "Oh, I'm going to sign up Alex and Mabel. What do you think of them?"
mm-hmm.
So of course I said yes. I mean, I really think they are because
Yeah,
Alex used to be my assistant director.
yeah.
I mean, I've never said this. I mean, this is a secret.
It's all right. Mona's dead now. It's okay.
Oh, it's not. It's nothing. It's not nothing bad.
Just in case you don't know, Mona Fong was a nightclub chanteuse in Hong Kong who Run Run Shaw became enamored of and installed at the studio, and she gradually took over the studio as Run Run got older and older and retired and switched more of his attention to television. So Mona was left in charge, and she was much hated by quite a few of the staff.
Tony.
Yeah.
After 50 years in the industry
Yeah.
and being so old, I
Yeah.
really feel that everything born of positive feelings and love remains. But everything which is vicious, they just disappear. Don't you think so?
No,
No.
no, because there was. Well, sorry, this is not to do with you, but just I have to finish this now. You've asked me. One senior Shaw executive took me to lunch, only about less than 10 years ago. It was in Hong Kong, and asked me if I would write a novel, basically to his dictation, and he wanted to tell the true story of Run Run and Mona from an extremely negative point of view, and it was a score-settling book. He wanted to write it himself in Chinese and publish it in Hong Kong, and had been warned that he could be sued because Mona was still alive at that point. So he wanted me to write it for him in English, publish it here, and get it. There, he figured he would be safe from Mona's retribution.
I mean, I don't want to talk badly about people who died, but this is a joke. It's like Mona is famous for like going to watch rushes and then count how many extras there are. Because if you ask for 50, she doesn't get a count of 50. She'll ask the production manager why all the extras haven't appeared. That kind of thing. That's why we dislike her.
Well, the first time I met Mona Fong was because of you. Actually, you just made this film. You said, Mona's going to London, please meet her and persuade her to let me show it in festivals. She gave me some promises, but she needs encouraging. And it was true that Shaw's had a policy of never sending a film to a film festival or anywhere like that. No special promotion, no real interest in foreign markets, only in overseas Chinese markets. Yeah. So I did. I went to Shaw House in Mayfair and sat down with Mona Fong, who was outraged to hear that I had visited the studio many times and seen a lot of films in the studio. Who arranged that for you? Who did that? She was not at all happy. But, so I didn't come away with a glowing impression. Sorry. Anyway, I think it's time you asked questions. It's yes. I mean, enough from me, please. Do we have a roving mic? Yeah, thank you.
Hi, thank you for the interesting film. I was just curious if there was any resistance at all at that time to you being a female director, and also working with Chow Yun-fat. How did he feel working with a female director? Yeah, thank you.
Working with a what director?
A female director.
Oh.
Yes.
Have you suffered
If I have, I didn't know.
persecution or discrimination as a woman director? I don't think so.
I don't think so. Working with Chow Yun-fat, but Chow Yun-fat at that time was a novice, so he was very happy to work with me,
That's good.
who was already a successful director.
Okay, thank you.
This is Anne's fourth film. I mean, she was hardly a newcomer. Yes, there's somebody right behind the first gentleman.
Thank you, and thank you, Tony, for sharing this.
Can you speak louder, please? My
yeah.
ear not so good.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for sharing this, first of all. And I would like to ask if there are any special thoughts when you were trying to film all the martial arts scenes in the film, because it's quite interesting to see a female director filming all the martial arts during Second World War, and especially in Hong Kong. I didn't see that many very violent or those like conflicts, but it's been shot in a quite soft filtered. Yeah, thank you. That's my question.
I was very interested in representing Hong Kong during wartime. I don't know why. Maybe also because Eileen Chang wrote a lot about the war in Hong Kong when she was a university student. But of course, here it got more covered than in the novel. But I feel I haven't captured the feeling. I just feel that it shouldn't be like this, but not exactly like this, because it's not whether you have a lot of explosions or a lot of action sequence. It's some kind of atmosphere during war, which makes the city look ordinary, but it's still strange. But I haven't been through a war myself, so I can't imagine, and I feel, and when I read books, I don't get it.
The caption at the end of the film is directly from Eileen Chang?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. How, she was redeemed, but while millions or anyway, thousands died or suffered or whatever, yeah.
But I have to tell you, I mean, it's my pet story, but I think I ought to tell you. I feel that I don't like the story apart from this film. Apart from the fact that there are some things which I don't like, especially Cora Mills' hairstyle, which
Didn't you have some say over the hairstyle?
which was a wrong move, because
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't want her to have a hairstyle which is very common at that time, like maybe a chignon bun or something. And so I looked through a lot of magazines, and there was a general's wife who had that kind of hairstyle. So I thought, oh, that's special. I mean, for 1940s. But then actually it's wrong because it doesn't suit her. She has a very big head and very slim body. And so it exaggerates the size of her head and her face, which is not, in terms of art direction, not so good. But it's and they also feel it's strange instead of becoming and very special. So what was I talking about before that? Sorry.
I don't remember. Something about
The
shooting warfare was the question, basically.
Oh, I want to tell you is that I feel that I think I got the whole idea of the novel wrong. It's called Love in a Foreign City, and for Eileen Chang, that is how do you call it? Ironical. It's a story between a man and a woman who are sort of, although they love each other, they are playing games with each other. A woman wants to get married, and the man doesn't want to because he mistrusts all women. And so they did not. They were playing games all the time until there was a war. And when war broke out, I mean, Eileen Chan actually wrote that this war make this love story complete, give it a good ending. That's why it's called Love in a Foreign City. It's ironical. It means they're not really such a great love story, but it's the war which sort of I mean,
But
make
that-
it some kind of a
but that is-
culmination.
Yeah, that is very typical Eileen Chang,
Yeah,
though.
but when I shot,
Irony and
I wanted to
yeah.
make the story very romantic, and I couldn't because it somehow it's not ironical because like the dialogue they use and actually their situation is much more like what Eileen Chang's manager told me when I visited him for the copyright. So it's something like a screwball comedy of the 40s, like these women and men who are playing games with each other. And I said, how could such a big love story be a screwball comedy? But actually, he's right. If it is treated like that, it would be very much more special.
I should add that Eileen Chang actually scripted some Chinese screwball comedies in the late 40s.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, questions, please. We have bright lights shining in our eyes, so it's a bit hard
The
to see.
Chinese film industry and the film people are actually much more sophisticated than I was then.
Well, they had been through a war.
Sorry.
Hi, thank you. So I would like to ask, you did your bachelor in literature, and people saying that you have better taste for literature and you are better at writing than most of the directors. Example, like including in the documentary about you, Keep Rolling. But looking back to your long career, you seldom write scripts by yourself, even though you are probably the first person to collect the first-hand material. You come up with the idea, you still have someone to write it for you. Can I ask why, and have you thought about writing the script by yourself in later work? Yeah, thank you.
It's because maybe I met the first few script writers were so good that whenever I told them an idea, they came up with a script which is better than I expected. So I dare not write myself afterwards, I think it's because of that. And also I really think that film writing is an art. It's not they are not writing at the command of the director. They should be a kind of a creator as well. So I have very high standards for script writing. So I dare not write myself.
Are you faithful to the script when it's given to you?
If it's good, I am faithful.
Otherwise, you feel free to change.
Yes, they don't need many excuses because in the business, in our business, it is permitted.
Any more? I think I can see a hand there. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Things Mandy mentioned something about Eileen Chang. I noticed you have added some storylines to the film than the original work. When I watch the film again this time, there's one particular plot or scene that is kind of intriguing for me is during the Japanese bombing, they hide in the hotel room and there's a guy who decided to play piano as a way to comfort the people. And probably he was playing Schumann kind of scene, I cannot tell. I was quite curious why you decided to have this particular scene.
Started to what?
Add this piano playing scene at that point.
I just like it.
Yeah, because it was
like
not
Chopin.
okay. Oh yeah, it was Chopin. It was Chopin, sure.
So,
Yeah, because it was, if I remember correctly, it was not in Eileen Chang's novella, but it just catch the right mood at that moment and also let the story of occupation flesh out more. Yeah.
oh,
So-
sorry, I can't hear what you said the last
I'm,
few
I'm,
sentences.
I'm just
so
saying.
sorry.
I'm just saying the thing makes more sense when you add it to the story.
The piano play.
Yeah, the piano play.
Oh, I just thought it's quite natural. I mean, you got a you got a piano there. It's sort of something which, but
Also, it's a luxury hotel. It's
Yeah.
they have pianists in the lobby. It's,
yeah. No special meaning.
Hi, and I can't believe I'm actually talking to you. I just want to say you've been my icon for years, especially I'm an actor and you inspired me and a lot. I just wondering like, cause some of your works, like especially in the early times, and some of your representative works such as like the Golden Times, 黄金时代, and Women in 40s, 女人40, such movies, especially in this one, there are a lot of like female characters that you captured and created really like mesmerizing. I'm just wondering like, what are the features you care the most when you create a female character or create female roles? Cause especially I watched like one footage clip in the Golden Times behind the scene. There was a time that when Tang Wei she fell over the bed, you were the first one who tried to protect her, and that was the moment I feel like you show a lot of sympathy and empathy to actors. So I'm just wondering like, what are the key elements and the feature you care about for women character and actress? Thank you. And by the way, thanks for all the contribution you've done for Chinese and Hong Kong movie. Thank you.
You think I care especially for women?
No. Like,
I
what do
mean,
you care
I
the
don't care
most?
about men.
Of course you care. Like, what the feature you capture the most when you create, when you're trying to create?
It's true. I don't understand men that well, really, because it's very recent, maybe at least at most 10 years before that I started realizing that men are different from women. I mean, in terms of what they feel and how they react. Before, you just treated everyone the same. That's why I'm not married. No, people just feel your reactions are inaccurate. I mean, about men and women. I feel, I just treat them the same. I mean, really. So sometimes, like when there's a character like Zhou Yunfat in the story of Wu Viet, it's usually the external actions which I have captured. It's like how they behave, but they would do this, do that. But I haven't thought about what is inside. I mean, what they really think. But because I'm a woman, although I might be not sort of like every woman, but like my reactions are, I just can get into the women characters better. I mean, because I just react, I just imagine their reactions. Like if I were like this, I would react like this, and it would be true to life, at least for me. So anything which is true, I think is okay. I mean, even if it's improbable or very unlikely. So if I test this against my own reactions, then it's usually okay. But with men, sometimes I can't do this because I'm not a man. So if this happens to a man, I have to imagine or ask people. Like in some of the TV, which I shot very well, I have to ask a friend who's been going to prostitutes what happened exactly inside the room when he was visiting a prostitute. But I can imagine after he told me. But I have to ask because I can't imagine those scenes. Because I think it would be completely unlike anything you imagine.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming here. I'm from LFS. Yeah, and I was studying international film business. And I have to say that my favorite film of yours is 姨妈的后现代生活 because I'm from Dongbei. Yeah, and I found that in this film, some lines are interesting, like "You're my medicine." It sounds like quite awkward at that moment, but it's funny at today's like dating cultural, background. So, do you feel like as the world cultural change, the context change, did you adapting your way of your storytelling or filmmaking?
Oh, definitely, I have to. Yeah.
I couldn't hear the question, so it's all yours.
Yeah, adapt. How to adapt? I don't know whether I'm right, so I just have to try out. Like I don't sort of I don't feel because I'm at this age. I don't communicate with young people that much, and at least they don't tell me what they think. So I don't. I'm sure I don't know well enough. Yeah.
Last one.
Hi, thank you for coming to London and sharing all the very fun behind-the-scenes stories. My question is very simple because you said at the beginning that this movie is not your favorite. So I just wonder, among all the 3 adaptations from Eileen Chang's novels, which one is your favorite and why?
Maybe 18 Springs better.
And why?
You don't like?
I don't like. I think that the last
Tell
one
me.
is better.
Huh?
I think you've been getting steadily better.
Really?
Yeah.
I think so too. I think the last one actually it's got it's there are still flaws there, but then the intention is getting better, isn't it? More original.
I did the subtitles for the last film, and you gave me a very, very hard time, as you forced me to invent new English words to capture the flavour of Eileen Chang. It was quite challenging.
I tell you what I think. I mean, better instead of leaving it. It's like everybody attacked the film for different reasons, which is in a way a good thing. But I know what I was doing more. I mean, it's like there's flaws in the sense that there are long passages of Eileen Chang's very, very staged dialogue, stage dialogue. And I didn't change that. So in the first few 15 half an hour, it's difficult to take because the dialogue is so like stage dialogue. Yeah. But the thing is, the whole story, I've made it into something which is like a kind of web of adultery and decadence, and the people themselves did not know it. And they were just doing this, exchanging partners and selling off, marriages and things like that. But it's something which is extremely corrupt, but they're very well dressed and very elegant, and to the extent that they didn't realize that. But this is not Eileen Chang's message, so everybody rejected it. Everybody said, the girl should not love money so much. But my question at the very first moment when I read the novel, I found the premise on which the novel was written is not valid now, because it's like a typical story of the 40s when a girl who loves money is corrupted by money, and then later corrupted by love for a wrong person, to the extent that she would marry someone in order to keep him. Now, that other part is good, because nowadays even that is very rare. But the fact that she fell for money, who doesn't fall for money nowadays? I mean, if you say a woman is prostitutes herself for a lot of money, people envy that more than condemn that. You see, I feel. So I feel there's a lot more to be said about that film, but it's too early yet.
Well, I think I'm getting signals from Millie that we should stop, because I think there's another screening coming. I think so. We have to clear the hall. Thank you very much for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
There's more Ann Hui to come. I think is one more. Are you doing this again tomorrow?
No, I'm leaving tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Well, then a big thank you for coming.
Thank you, Tony,
and for answering questions so candidly. Thank you.